Hello, all. Well, welcome back. Welcome back to the stream.
Hello,
Tonight,
every pony.
hello, every pony. Tonight we are joined by Josiah and Peggy. No Cody tonight. No Cody tonight. But you are joined
Rest in peace.
Breast in peace. Good evening, Daft Cody. Good evening, Jamie. We are joined by her though. My new friend that I got.
Awesome. Oh, can I show everyone the new friend I got?
Yeah, I'll swap over.
Friends, right?
Yeah, let me. Are you going to do this through? Okay, you got it on webcam. Let me get the pop out on. Oh yes, this new friend. Oh, here we are. There he is. That's him. That's the skibbity toilet.
That's him.
All right.
How do you think the licensing with that works, right? Because they had to have gone to Valve and be like, "Hey, can we
The legal team is very strict. Those are the exact words they used to me.
And that's all we know. Oh, hi, dumb Jake. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we talked about the Thunderbolts thing last week, and I don't want to talk about it right now. We're just skipping right into Dye Workwear. If you're not familiar with Dye Workwear, he's kind of the most winningest person on the internet. He has people come at him.
Can't hear audio right now.
Check my
says
audio.
Jake.
Check my audio. Is gain too high?
Hello.
Hello.
I just unmuted and I could hear the stream fine.
Okay.
Jamie, I started Estrogen a few days ago and impulse bought a Legacy G1 Oppie Prime on my way home from med pickup. And honestly, that Oppie Prime might be more life-changing and inspiring. Let's fucking go. Oh, Jake's audio is off on purpose, to be clear. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And Jake subscribed to Tier 1. Jake's been subscribed for 2 months. Is that 5 big booms?
Oh,
That's
do
5 big
I have
boobs.
my...
Boom!
Oh, fuck, I can't do this from a lot of you.
Boom! There was supposed to be something that popped up on screen, and I'm pretty sure it didn't. So...
Oh, that's so cool.
I have no idea how stream element widgets are actually supposed to work. I put them in as a browser source, and I don't know. But yeah, Dye Workwear. Most vicious, blood rot hands on the internet. Because he'll post something innocuous like this of RFK doing culture war bullshit. Steak and Shake is now the new on woke. Beef tallow makes you a real man. That's the new bar we're trying to hit, I guess, is Steak and Shake. That is like the level of masculinity that where they're trying to reach is Steak and Shake. Anyways, buttons too high.
Buttons too high.
Because then you'll have people come in the comments and he will be able to just kill any of them. Because he knows everything. Did you know this? I spoke to a bespoke tailor about this, and he did confirm JD Vance's pants are too slim, hence why they ride up on him like this. I thought he got his...
Tailor.
Yeah. I thought he got his suits from a pretty reputable bespoke tailor, Romualdo in Cincinnati. Maybe this isn't one of Romualdo's. Sometimes a tailor has to contend with the fact that they're being hired to produce clothes that the client wants to wear and the client has bad taste. He's really good. This one is not from Dye Workwear. This one is from Brian Johnson, the CEO. This is him pictured knocking on his son's room at 5 a.m. To question, Son, I've been checking the alarms and you haven't had a nighttime erection tonight. What is wrong? Is something a matter, young lad? That's what he's doing in this image.
Dan Henschel for a second.
I think that Dan Henschel
looks like Dan Henschel in this photo.
Well, if we want a real Dan Henschel, Father Chuckler, he's back. The Chuckler is not only back, he is anointed by Christ. Thank God.
This is the church I go to.
Oh yeah, this is also insane. From Dye Workwear again. I don't know much about stocks. Are they supposed to go down all the time? Thank you to the the thousands of people who replied to this tweet. I have earned 30 cents in this engagement, which buys me 10,000 Tesla shares. He's really good at it.
Man.
If you don't know, Justin Trudeau stepped down as Canadian Prime Minister, and here he is pictured coming out of the House of Commons, taking his chair.
Like that.
This quote retweet. No, there's something to this. I have seen this face before. I don't know where. Where have I seen this face before? Huh. It's on the tip of my mind. I just can't quite figure it out. Anyways, Adrian Brody was reportedly looking for yummy cheese at the Oscars after party. Where are the yummy cheese at? Source deadline. This is true. This is real. I called in, and they confirmed that this was real. This is all true. I've got a kitty that's desperately trying to snuggle me right now.
I look for yummy cheese for a living.
It's true. Cheese fascinates women. This is one thing I know.
Yeah.
Look at all the charcuterie boards.
From Queen of Sodor. Canada's going to have a rough time finding a new PM. They only elect guys based on how good they are at blackface. Oh God. I know that he's not like natural born, but Robert Downey Jr. is on the table, right? What were you going to say, Josiah?
I was going to say, I feel like it's a dying art. Canada might be in trouble if that's the case.
Oh, don't worry. We always got the Always Sunny cast.
This is true.
Now, this is going to sound terrible, but they did really detailed blackface at that show. Like, I don't know how long makeup spent on that, because it was whole body. That's insane to do for a television show, and to do for blackface. Really, really just crazy.
I feel like if you're gonna do it, you gotta go all in. Like,
speaking about going all in, here Kai Cenat and Speed sharing a bed together, their Fortnite bed together. And I guess Speed got good news. His girl told him, "I love you too." That's wonderful for him. I bet his boyfriend is so happy for him right now.
The first reply. Is this normal?
Yeah, this is normal.
Yeah, this is normal.
Yeah, this is perfectly normal. Don't you spend time in your bed with your boyfriend? Texting your girlfriend, your Fortnite bed?
Yeah, it's the Fortnite bed that really makes it.
I like the monitor off to the side, pointed at the bed, so they can just glance up and go, huh. This bed is pregnant now.
Congratulations.
California's Universal Studios Hollywood theme park organizes the Transformers Universal Studio Tour. There's Megatron.
That Megatron is right now.
There's Starscream. There's another guy. There's me, Grimlock. Me, Grimlock, only understand surface level themes like that O.J. Simpson did it. Really love the Transformers wiki. They know how to write a wiki.
Yeah.
Why did they make Jazz's ass so flat? Well, I have some terrible news about Jazz's ass. Oh, tits so fat. Sorry, I was reading off of my thing. Yeah, that is a travesty. That is a travesty, actually. Where were you when the Barbie hype was real? Where were you when Barbies dropped?
Telling everyone this was my first toy fair. I lied. I was at the Barbie introduction toy fair, actually. It was crazy. Now you might be wondering, you were only 25 years old. How were you at Toy Fair 66 years ago? You don't need to worry about that. I was there. I was one of the first people reporting on this.
Yeah, we had 5 minutes to travel to the past, and we thought we would use them wisely. I, of course, was just there normally. Alright, it's time for us to get into the toy part of the night. We're getting to the toy part of the night early because we have some big news on two fronts.
Yeah.
So we're just going to talk about the Sponge Pop.
Sponge Robert.
Spongeman Robert. Trading cards in Magic the Gathering. This is what's going to cause probably the greatest number of aneurysms observed in, the 40 and up community
This
of
may
white
be
guys.
what gets me to. This may be what gets me to buy some Magic the Gathering. Like, I might kind of need these.
So we got, SpongeBob rendered in, this is quite pleasant. I like this. I really like the angle on Squidward here looking down at me. It kind of makes me feel inferior. Plankton, Tiny Timer, they're all like reskins of different cards, so it's not like they're mechanically unique.
Look like mostly like stock art, except for like Squidward, which I mean is fine. Gary's really good too. I like Gary looking up at you.
They have artists listed.
Oh, do they?
Caleb Murr.
Well, it's still at least like a lot of these are at least heavily based off of like stock art, at least.
Yeah, these are like.
Wait until you see heavily based.
Yeah.
So, also in another Secret Lair product, SpongeBob SquarePants internet sensation, just screen caps from the show, just expanded out and like cleaned up. I really like this one because it's not the screen cap from the show; it is the Twitter edit. It is the Twitter edit of the image.
Yeah. Like the other ones, at least got like high quality scans of the cells.
Well, I think
or whatever they're using. I forget
redrew.
when they switched over to like digital, but I know at least season 1 was on cells.
Yeah, well, I think they like partially did redraws on this.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think there's that much floor in the original scene.
There's not. And also, I don't think that's the background either. I need to suck dick, SpongeBob! Cock, SpongeBob! I need cock! And then we got the lands. The lands are fun. And a food token that's like the Krabby Patty from the Krabby Patty How-To Drenched in Cum. That's fine.
Bless you, Chester. Chester sneezed.
Oh, thank God. But yeah, so this is like...
I really like these. I think this is really cool. I think this is really silly.
Yeah,
I think this is
I
really
do like
silly.
these.
I embrace it as it's just another step towards kind of like bringing a mind death to Magic the Gathering.
If this was Duel Masters, it would be completely normal. But we don't have Duel Masters, so this is what they had to settle for.
Yeah, if this was Duel Masters, this would have come out in Koro Koro. These are being sold for $30 and $40 a piece, depending on whether you get the non-foil or foil version. The thing is that unlike other card games that have had crossovers, this has no accompanying media, so it's not like... Well, no accompanying media that's like wholly original.
Mm-hmm.
You can watch SpongeBob.
You can watch SpongeBob. And Magic the Gathering has essentially been telling a story with its cards for like the past 30 years until very recently, where the main sets have become just like, oh, what if all of your favorite Magic characters wore a different costume, like it was a different board in Mario Party 2. And then the other half of sets are just whatever license they bought. Half of the game is Fortnite now, and I think that's really funny. And, a lot of Magic fans are understandably upset. I, however, as a hater, am delighted.
Exactly.
I think it's neat, instead of like your favorite like piece of media having a half-ass TCG, you'll have like actual cards from your favorite media in a game that's like actually like fun and playable.
Yeah, like that's fun. It's just disappointing to like men with children and mortgages who have missionary sex with their wife every 2 months. It's a bit disappointing for them. I kid, of course.
I didn't know that was. I didn't know that was the current Magic demographic.
The current Magic.
A lot of the people I know that play Magic, it's either that or stoners.
Like, it's going to be that. It's going to be stoners. It's going to be trans women ages 19 to 24. And then it's going to be, I don't know, Pro Jared. Motorcycle.
Yeah, like, I don't even think my girlfriend's playing Magic anymore.
A lot of people have jumped ship.
Yeah.
I too am a MTG accelerationist. So, what do you think of the Pokemon Koraidon from the Honda Oyama exhibition? If you don't know, they turned him into a bike. They turned this Pokemon, this pocket monster, into a bike. Now,
Silly.
Of note, I had to go through a bunch of videos to try to find this one, and all of them were like AI generated using the same AI generated script.
Oh no.
Like, not many motorcyclists are that familiar with the world of Pokemon, the fantastical world that has enraptured children for generations. But they are at least familiar with the franchise. Very clearly AI generated. Anyways, this is the sickest shit that has ever been made. I don't know if you knew this. They turned the bike guy into a real bike. They needed a common rider to ride this shit. It doesn't mean anything if you don't ride me.
It's true.
Let's Go is actually a different Pokemon game. March 7th. I think this is the... It's at least coverage. Yeah, it's got, like, wheels underneath the sheaths. This is illegal to drive in Japan. I'm pretty sure. Uh-oh. Oh, my mouse died for a little bit. There he is. Koraidon bike. Now, this isn't the only one. We know that they've been, like, working on this for a while. Here is the Miraidon bike. He's coming. It's really funny. It has to use, like, a tread system because there's no space for the wheel. It's really funny. But yeah, I just think that's cute.
Oh, we have a surprise guest in my room right now. Buddy the dog is here.
Oh my god, Buddy the dog. This rocks.
Yeah. I don't know what he's doing here.
Looking for a friend.
Sorry, I got distracted. This one was sent in by our lovely boy, Dub Jake.
These are fucking awesome.
If you love Nirvana, you'll love Kurt Cobain. These are little suction cups. Kind of like the ones that you would put on the back of your phone to hold it. We'll just watch the trailer. They're little spacefaring little freaks in geometric shapes.
I fucking need these.
They have little vehicles that can gatai into a little robot man. These are awesome. If they put these in a Hot Topic or in a GameStop Gashapon machine,
lesbians would go crazy for this.
The kind of bisexual woman who loves the Walden Files would probably flip an entire semi-truck for this. Sapphic women are really winning with this one.
Why is there a dildo and the N in the logo? I think that's supposed to be their little bunny ears.
Oh, yeah, that's a dildo. That's what they ride. To get off?
New
Base PogChamp. New Base Pog Champ. New Devil May Cry trailer. We'll watch that later. Radish
a new
Sun is my
baseball champ that I've already gotten to touch.
All right, we've already got to see them in real life. So let's just speed through this one. All right. So here we got Courage Drain. You twist it out.
That's how you're supposed to remove it.
I mean,
I guess that fucking works.
So you have all three parts. You got the lock chip, you got the main blade slash primary blade, you got the assist blade slash auxiliary blade.
メインブレード、アシストブレードと言いまして、で今回カスタムライン3つ。
Now, I've been talking to some competitive Beyblade people, and they've had their opinions on what they're, like, shaped with, or shaped like, and by competitive Beyblade people, I mean Hado. I mean Hado reporting back his conversations with his competitive Beyblade team.
組み替えることで、このブレードを自分好みの性能にカスタマイズできる、それがカスタムラインで
なるほど
ございます。
それゆえにカスタムラインだと。
はい。ではですね、この3つのパーツそれぞれ
So
説明していきたい。
he says that the metal is a little bit too high because of the assist blade. I really like how the metal is very outward weight distributed. We'll see if that will balance it out. I don't know. Maybe those Australians already know. But I like the shapes of all of the blades that we have so far. None of them seem like super game breaking, but maybe that weight distribution will put them into a weight class that would be nice and maybe kill the concept of a wizard rod. These blades being super tall probably bodes poorly for CX attack and CX stamina, but I think defense might actually become real with the extra shock absorbing of all of the plastic. It could be. You know, custom line defense type? By chance? The blade type is derived from the main blade, so they say. Alright. Allegedly, this has downforce. Just like everything that they release.
Yeah.
We got some extra contact points from the assist blade, allegedly. Got 660. This looks like a good ratchet because it seems a little heavy. It seems a little heavy, champ. And then we got Cyclone, I'm pretty sure. No, not Cyclone. This is Vortex, which is Cyclone in the opposite direction. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So it probably won't be used, but you know, it's nice to have. It's at least a very beautiful blade. Oh my god, this bay is really pretty.
Like, if anything, CX is sexy as hell.
It's true. Again, I don't know what Jet was on when he was saying, I really hate the stickers. The stickers are so good, and by the stickers I of course mean the printed decals.
Well, yeah. I feel like the fact they're printed on makes them look a lot better.
Yeah. Alright, let's see some wolf battling.
Vortex is slightly thicker than Cyclone, so I don't know if it'll be better than Cyclone. Some people like Cyclone because it's got a narrower shaft than flat. So it's got more girth, is what you're saying.
You know, some people do like that girth.
Yeah.
You know, I understand wanting it narrow. It's fun, it's safe. You know, some people like the girth. Anyways, speaking about girth, let's see the thing that stands to beat Rod. Really like the lock chip design for this one. Oh my god.
It's so good.
Arc Wizard Money Gang right here. We got this rounded assist blade called Round. And together they make a circle. Maybe this will be the attack type blade because it's got that what's the bay called in Burst? Is it not? I know like the dub name is like Noctimus. Oh, Twin Nemesis. It's got that Noctua kind of look to it. It comes with probably the most exciting ratchet. 455, the shortest ratchet we have so far. Like 485, it has a different shape from the rest of the fours. Twin Nemesis was probably my main for most of Burst.
続いて、ビットは
And then we got low orb for all of the people who wanted low orb, which is a lot of people, I imagine, actually. I'm sure so many people were really feeding for that low orb, so now we're feeding them low orb. Thank God.
摩擦
バトルをどうぞ。
ではウィザードアークとナイトメールで
Alright.
いきますいくぞ C21 ゴーシューめっちゃ低いウィザードアークに
Let's see this battle.
逆に高いナイトメールということで高いバーサス低いです
Putting the tallest and the shortest bay against each other is fun. It's also good that they're both multis. From the looks of
おっとこのままフィニッシュ
全然回
this, so the 485 I don't think has the palm ratchet piece inside of it. It works on a different mechanism if I remember correctly. And it looks like this one is also like has no internals in it, maybe? I don't know. I'm speaking out of my ass here. But it's neat that we have a slightly lower thing that might make a CX bay actually function. That would be nice. That would be really nice. Let's get back to the battle.
ナイトメールということで高いバーサス低いですけれども
結構ゴツゴツ当たってますけどね。
はいナイトメール弾いてますが結構いなして、まだまだスタミナ温存しておっと
Whoa, the short one beat the tall one. This has never happened before.
Whoa, who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
さあ最後に
It's like 385. Yeah, so for the extreme height ones, yeah, they're just that hollow piece.
なるほど。
はいベイベードになってます
こちらブースターですね。
ブースター
はい。
なりますのでこちらはベイが一つだけ入っておりますじゃあ
This one just looks sick. Based off of Gravity Perseus, Gravity Destroyer, if you like that.
エルセウスがモチーフ
How pretty.
はい。
Yeah, the
Really
black and
good.
purple is really nice.
Orpal.
Yeah, this-
こちらはディフェンス
Like aesthetically.
でこちら6枚刃
We got that purple and silver rim painting on there.
起伏が。
Some of the plastic.
はいはい。
形状していてこのゴツゴツした
It's a very layered design.
性能がね高いメイン
We got that counter shape to it.
続いてアシストブ
Like that. We have that on another bay in X. I forget the little wibwob design. We're all Julius Caesar fans here. We all love Julian Concern.
Yeah, I like that part where he got sent to hell.
I love him when he got sent to hell. That is true.
I am so excited to get the fucking Kerbex, successor, because they did like show a character in the anime that is very clearly supposed to be Cerberus, because they got like doggy shoes.
Yeah. Where's the
So
third
I'm
shoe?
so hyped for that.
Where's the third shoe?
のパーツを組み合わせてできる
That's a good question.
B ということでメインブレードはカウント
But yeah, I love how Perseus was like erroneously
防御性能
dual spin and was a rival for a little bit, and then he got sent to hell. We got 680, which is a piece that will probably never see any competitive play
Yeah.
unless if suddenly there's a reason for 80 ratchets to be used. I love Julian Concern. I love when he said he prefers Beyblade over Hopscotch. Me too, actually. I know this is quite a controversial opinion.
Metal Monsters was a very freak of the week show.
I feel like we've lost the freak of the week magic in
We kind of had freak of the week in X for a while, because
well
mostly
I
the
just meant in
burn and then
general.
Chrome comes in.
Yeah. Well, I mostly just meant in general, not in Beyblade specifically.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be a topic for when we're playing a video game.
最後にビットは
So we got Wedge, which is like
ございます
はい。
はいこちらはディフェンス
a bit that's not good.
ございます
I think it would be really cool if there was a battle in the anime where Perseus Stark, where it uses the slower dash from Wedge to like block a bay from dashing. That would be fun.
ウェッジっていうことはどういう意味なんですか？
はい、ウェッジはくさびっていうねV 字に尖った、
はい
木片とかのことを意味するんですけど、
はい
もうまさにその通り
So Wedge is just like a really thin, it's spike. It almost has the profile of the defense bottoms from Metal Fight Beyblade, where it's that really obtuse angle on the bottom. Really, really wide conical shape. But on a really small thing. If this was done on like a normal size bit, like if we had a... Or like a... Actually, no. Never mind. We got Hexa. Hexa is essentially this, but it's just extraneously a hexagon. Never mind. We do have this in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, they just decided, like, God, you know, how do we honor the legacy of a Bay that threw competitive play up into the air with so many meta-defining parts? We gotta shoot him before he can do anything. We gotta kill this guy. We gotta fucking kill this guy. We gotta kill the serpent in the egg. Just like Julius Caesar. Makes you think.
浅いですね。
角度が浅めに
So yeah, they just decided that this Beyblade should be bad for some reason.
はい。
少ない枚数になって思ってます。
Here they're showing that this Bay can tip over and be bad.
傾いたらしいディフェンスタイプのビットです。
And we got like a rush style gear setup, I think.
SS ダーク B688W カウンター
Let's watch that battle.
C21 のシュー SS ダーク真ん中で待ち構えて見事に
Oh my god, that cat. Perchance this might be good for defense.
バースの大成功
こんな綺麗に決まります。
I really like the battle videos for Beyblade X previews because it's clear that they do like a dozen of them to try to find like the best footage. And like they cherry pick, which is fine. They're doing an advertisement. Like you should show off like the good point of your product, of course, since you're the one selling it. But I really like when they get one that's like just too good. Like that one. That one's a little unbelievable. Oh yeah, and then we got the battle set, which with the greatest extreme line of all time. That is beautiful. That is pretty. I love it. I love red Drawn Brave. I love white and blue Perseus Dark. I love neon pink magenta custom line.
This is so awesome.
The winder is also very beautiful. For the left spin launcher. I cannot wait to own this product, I say, as I consume. Got the white case. And, oh, we're showing off. We're showing off the brand new... Come on, baby girl. Okay, yeah, the brand new gold version that you can win by being a good winner. A good winnie boy.
Consume.
What's up with Devil May Cry? Is Fred Durst still there?
This gentleman
Probably.
objective. He's a top-level threat. Engage him with the full brunt of your firepower.
My favorite part about Dante Devil May Cry
I work better with music.
is that he's incredibly soy. Cut my life into pieces! This is my last resort! I gotta talk over this, or else we will die.
Mute the video immediately.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to keep on talking. That's the way they voice it.
This sure is Devil May Cry.
Wow,
My
guys, I
favorite
think
thing-
this is Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be on Netflix.
I think it is going to be on Netflix. My favorite thing about Dante as a character is that he's like, whenever he's not fighting, he's just like the soyest man ever. He is really just... What if the lamest person you knew was also really competent? And not lame as in like, oh man, you disappoint me as a person, but lame as in like
he's
says,
like
the
Moe.
narwhal bacon's at midnight. And
He's
then,
Moe.
like, he'll go like, r/whoosh much, and then he'd shoot off a shot that would rival the JFK magic bullet. Also, he just did, like, the lamest version of, I love the kind of woman who can kick my ass, except he's just like, you know, taking the guy on a date first. I really love Dante as a character, as a concept. I need that pink rail. There's a million jokes I could make with that one.
Yeah. I need that pink
God.
rail.
He's going Glooper Gland.
He's going
My
Glooper
last
Gland.
resort! Okay, so... This is Radish, son.
I think I figured it out. I've had a lot of time to think about this. Sunloaf. Why is Sunloaf not working? Because I know this is good. I know this is good. But there is something in the transmission of Sunloaf to audience that is getting...
Central always shaves his eyebrows. Fascinates me.
And the problem is not conceptual.
Like, that just shows how dedicated he is to the bit.
So I need to figure out what about Sunloaf is not coming across the way that I see it, right?
There's a guy on YouTube named John Bringus. We gotta tell John Braun, someone is stepping on his fucking turf.
The imposter.
This is a 12-minute video.
Oh, you don't know? You don't know the way this works? Fucking last Sunloaf video was 30 minutes long. Yes,
Sun cover is only like 50 seconds.
Sun cucumber.
No, it's just Suncumber.
Suncumber.
Like, that's the point where he gives up.
Yeah. Alright, it's time to talk about the death of Hasbro.
Like he's getting progressively more and more red in those thumbnails.
Oh, he is. Oh, he is getting more and more red. The sun is getting to him. We got some Alan tutorial stuff going on right now.
Suncumber.
Suncumber. This is me right now. Alright, Hasbro's fucking dead. Did you hear about this? Okay.
I heard about this.
Fascinating interview dropped.
So, we're going to look at the interview itself because I read through it and there's a few things in here that we want to go over. But, so, someone over on the Ranger board, discussions on the newest Hasbro interview with Chris Cox, real name, made a post summarizing it from user Big Smile. We're going to read over this because it is a good summary. Hasbro's direction. In contrast to Brian, the previous CEO, Chris wants to be less focused on storytelling. That is to say, the last CEO put a big emphasis on entertainment. He bought an entertainment company, E1 Entertainment, to like put their brands with like accompanying media. It's like why Dungeons and Dragons got a movie. It was to work in tandem with like the success that Hasbro had seen ever since the Transformers movie franchise existed, and like the incredible, outrageous boom that was My Little Pony G4, which was entirely
and as soon as Brian Goldner died, they made absolutely no attempts to keep up at what he was doing.
Yeah, so they saw it as a big loss. So they got rid of it, and they thought that like this would free up some money. Stock prices are the same price they were whenever they got rid of it. So it's really had like a neutral effect, if anything, because I mean, if they weren't going to use it, then they should probably get rid of it. But I think they should also use it. The reason they cite for getting rid of it is that even though they don't have, like, without entertainment, it's hard to have, like, a super mega hit. The thing that has kind of sustained Hasbro for the past entire existence. It will, it allows them to make smaller, sustainable brands, I guess. With Cox citing, they sacrifice the chance of having a huge mega hit up front, but the chances of having a huge mega hit are pretty fleeting. This is not the gambler's mindset that I think, he should have. I think, as soon as you quit mining through those mines, you're not going to get the big diamonds, and someone else is going to get the big diamonds, and then you'll feel like a big poopy idiot. Remember, 99% of gamblers quit before the big hit. So, like, and there were, like, different investors who, like, fought this decision and, like, had, like, immediately on Spawn, Chris Cox was fighting them off, trying to, like, justify axing E1 and stuff like this. Justifiably so, because it was, like, the main game plan. Now, less focused on storytelling and more on play, he says in the interview that even when he was, even when he was... Before he was, like, the main guy at Wizards of the Coast, he was like, man, we gotta focus more on play. And by more on play, we mean having SpongeBob and Magic the Gathering, of course. We push the pendulum way too far into entertainment. So we're going to push it way too far into video games, is his new plan.
Yeah.
It also has an interesting bit where he talks about playing Dungeons and Dragons for the past 40 years, and he goes on to have some real, I googled it on Reddit type thoughts on D&D. A team can only go as fast as they trust each other, and leading a campaign in D&D, the players have to trust you that you have an outcome in store for them, and you're not going to do a total party wipe, as fun as that might be for a DM, haha. He says, sitting in a nerd-friendly board game cafe off New York's Union Square. CEOs should allow table talk disagreements among their team members, he says, while keeping them unified on outcomes.
I should have tried to score an interview with him. That would have been really good.
Should have gone to Costco.
Yeah, I should have gone to this cafe.
He talks about running a Scooby-Doo campaign, quote, featuring minifigures, sound effects, and an incredibly elaborate PowerPoint presentation.
Holy fucking
So,
shit.
you're telling me you had storytelling for your campaign?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So it pivots right here of, like, push the pendulum way too far towards the storytelling side of the ledger, badly defocused us on investing in design and innovation, investing in our supply chain, and managing our cost structure and developing our talent. Now, here's the thing. That is a very interesting note to say, because there was a very noticeable point where Hasbro stopped focusing on innovating on play and toys and, like, the features that they could add to their products to make it, like, a value-added product for their consumer who wants a, like, very rich and innovative play experience, or at least one that's familiar and fresh. And that problem began when Chris Cox became the CEO and gutted almost all of the franchises they had under the Blueprint 2.0 plan to raise profits by 50% over, like, the course of 5 years. That's one of them. I'm mixing up, like, the two Blueprint
Like, definitely taking like a bad turn before then, but it took like a nosedive.
Because essentially their business plan became, well, if we don't pay anybody and we don't like spend any money, then we'll have to make more money because we won't be spending as much money. And they did make money in a very short term. In the long term, once they announced that this plan would continue, Hasbro stocks dropped by, 70%? In a day? Real big stuff. I might be overstepping that. It might have been $70. I forgot. I think it was $70, but... So... Even like the article points out, he says, even for the company whose Transformers films have grossed more than $5 billion. Under its new models, Cox expects movie, theme park, and video game partners to put $4 billion of their own capital behind his brands over the next 4 years. He doesn't want to spend money on them, but he does want them to exist.
Yeah. God forbid he has to do anything.
God forbid Hasbro do anything. Cox says he could see we had to go back to play even before he was elevated from running Hasbro's Wizards of the Coast unit. So at Wizards of the Coast, what happened was that he gutted the official play system for Magic the Gathering, got rid of the Grand Prix, the essential scaffolding of how Magic the Gathering worked in official play, and incentivized players to play at local game stores, and made Commander the main focus, a format that was mostly fan-made to play with different cards that never got played, instead focusing on creating cards especially for that format, making it its own format entirely, not compatible with competitive play, and essentially killing standard Magic the Gathering. Standard format being the standard format that had been played for so many years and kept the game in balance by having a rotating card pool. Which kept the game from getting too many mechanics at once. And like being playable to even new players. So, what the fuck ever. We do have to focus on play, though.
Guys, I think this guy is a little dumb.
Okay. But two activists, shareholders, Altafox and Ancora, were pushing for a shakeup at the time, urging the band to unwind the E1 deal and spin off Wizards of the Coast. Cox sold E1 in 2023 for about $500 million. How much did we spend on that again? $3.8 billion. Okay. I'm not saying that,
Cool.
We should adhere to a sunk cost fallacy, but it feels like you weren't using it. It seems like you made a bad decision with Dungeons & Dragons, killing any goodwill fans could have to the movie that was coming out at the same time, causing a boycott of the brand at the same time that the movie was running, therefore creating, a lack of sales there. I would love to see his Scooby-Doo PowerPoint as well. I need to know what that means. I need to know what the D&D PowerPoint is. Strengthening its balance sheet while retaining the studio's Peppa Pig brand. Fucking sure. We gotta have that Peppa Pig. If we don't have that Peppa Pig, then Spin Master has Paw Patrol, and we cannot compete with Paw. We need to get the Peppa movie out. We need to get the Pig movie out. Despite investors' hopes that this would unlock hidden value, why would it? Why would it? You're selling a part of your company. It's not going to suddenly fix all of the inherent issues with the rest of the company. Hasbro stock is roughly where it was when he announced the sale. And he says it was a tough battle he had with the people saying, hey, maybe this is a dumb fucking idea. But he did say this. thinking about how best to craft the narrative so as not to give future activists fresh targets delayed by his strategic pivot by a year. I need to figure out how I can lie to these people so they won't make fun of me later.
Guys, I think this guy's a little dumb.
Yeah, maybe.
Now, we got to talk about Chris Cox's new plan. Let's throw Blueprint 2.0 out of the window. That's not... Customers aren't jiving with this. This year, what we got to do is we've got to win. We talked about this on stream before, his new play-to-win strategy, which separated the company into 3 lines of business: games, licensing, and last but not least, toys. Strange how you put toys last for a toy company. Hasbro, the toy company. That's interesting. And he told investors that they could reach 50% more consumers by 2027, while also growing and also improving profit margins and cutting debt. I essentially saying he can make miracles happen without any downside, and while also restructuring the company in pretty major ways. Hasbro has been marketing Mr. Potato Head, but traditional toys are harder to sell now. Fewer babies are being born in big markets like US, Europe, and Japan, meaning they have to turn to screens. Okay, so essentially they're talking about how they need to target older audiences, which makes sense. Birth rates are down. Kids are, in fact, buying less toys because you don't market to them and you don't give them, like, a valuable product, and you don't sell at a price point for what your product is worth, and you don't have any accompanying media that might help them figure out about the toys and give them a starting point into the world of your toys with those screens that already exist. But yeah, it is just harder to sell toys now, and we're going to do nothing to help that. Roughly 60% of its sales now are people aged 13 or older. And Cox talks of a future where 50, like, just old people are engaged in a lifetime of play, which is what's happening, and thankfully it is happening.
I mean, yeah, that is going to be me.
Yeah. But I find this to be a really fraught statistic because I want to know how they determined this. I really need to know.
Yeah.
Because there's no easy way to determine that, because most of the time, the people who buy toys are the parents or adults who are either buying it for children or are buying it for themselves.
Yeah, 8-year-old little Jimmy's not going to be buying toys himself.
The only way that you're going to, like, actually see this is, like, by judging it off of your own demographics, or by doing a really iffy survey and study. It's a really hard statistic to derive. I would like to see how they derived these statistics. Shorter term, though, President Donald Trump's tariffs pose a challenge. Okay, this is talking about, the current fascist in office is kind of ruining everything and causing another Great Depression, amongst other things. But, this is a bit bad for everyone because everyone does production in China because it's really cheap, and... the right involved there might be iffy as well. The workers' rights, might not be good. They're not good here in America either. Don't get me wrong. American worker rights are also horrible. It's just cheaper to ship them when they're in America. They are down from to 40% of production in China from 60%. when the cock entered the office. But yeah, it's a bad sitch for literally every industry. If the tariffs ever happen, who knows?
Got 20 seconds till add.
Okay. All right, we're going to talk to about the "we aren't serving 85% of customers" line, because that's a real interesting thing that's going on. But yeah, they're going to try to use production bases like Vietnam, which Takara Tomy uses for like Beyblade, and like India and Indonesia, shifting them to other places where, you know, you can get really cheap labor done. Using cheaper wood has improved margins on its Jenga blocks. While changing the components of Candyland has had it cut the game's retail price, he says, it's a strategy of life through 1,000 stitches as opposed to death from 1,000 cuts. He's patching this is like another word or another phrase for patching holes in a sinking ship. He's trying to plug 1,000 leaks right now. And it's not going to work. Let's see how long we have left on that ad. 1 minute and 30 seconds. I love Wawa.
So true. I just poured a bunch of water in like the cup I had from my 7-Eleven lemonade because it had ice in there, so I get water with like a hint of lemon.
Ooh. You know, that's like having a La Croix, but several times cheaper.
It might be the play.
My favorite thing about Brian Cox, my favorite thing about Chris Cox is that he will say the stupidest shit with the biggest smile on his face. Like, he'll come up with, like, the dumbest idiom and then, like, go,
He is the master of CEO bullshit.
He's fluent in HR talk. He can speak with, like, fresh out of mass MBA program business consultant graduates like no one else, with absolute accuracy. And like the peanut butter and chocolate comment, I'm a real peanut butter and chocolate kind of guy, talking about combining brands and stuff together and different collaborations between brands. That's one that really got me. He's just kind of like the perfect little CEO, because he's not trying to cause like a fascist coup. He's not trying to like do culture war bullshit. In fact, he's pretty like in the middle. He's like absolute centrist. It's really funny. He's just like such a nothing guy. He's just like a cartoon moneybag CEO. He's like, maybe we could make the product cheaper by spending less money. And then everyone in the boardroom looks at each other, and then they'll slowly nod, and they start to clap and stand up. So, we aren't serving 85% of customers. What does this mean? So, he's talking about, like the wide swath of the world that cannot afford like Hasbro toys, the markets that like knockoffs exist for, that like we the stuff that you find on like Temu that is relatively cheap to the rest of the world because like it's made on such a cheap budget and made without any like safety or licensing or like any legal department involved at all. So like it's hella cheap and the labor is not done ethically. Because a large amount, you know, of the world can't afford the toys that we buy in our stores. Here's one thing. Listing off the imitations he has found in Hong Kong with names like Poptimus Prime and Humblebee. Can we look those up right now? Can we find those right now?
I'm looking it up.
He wonders why Hasbro can't make toys so cheaply. Number 1 is like a human rights issue. Number 2 is a legal issue. Number 3 is other. I'm putting it as an other category because there's like a million different reasons that you could just like rattle off with common sense. We're missing the right vendors. We're missing the right way to manufacture them. We're missing something about our quality standards. They aren't low enough.
Okay, so when I Google Optimus Prime, it's Optimus Prime Funko Pops, Optimus Prime Popcorn Bucket, and also there's a random Jet Kuso thumbnail in the search results. I'm not finding this actual bootleg.
Yeah, I don't think these bootlegs exist. He was just trying to be funny and come up with bootleg names.
Yeah.
Transformers bootlegs are not named like this. Like,
yeah, bootleg names are funnier than this.
Like, bootleg Transformers names is like Hero Truck. Or like Magical Star of Light. Or Super Trucker. Or Hero Warrior King. That's all the things that they would call like Optimus Prime. Like, look at Magic Star's like Light of Peace. That's what they called their Optimus Prime. Humblebee, it would be Stinger. Scout. Cool Man. Quick Strike. It would be stuff like that.
There's this one like third-party Megatron I keep seeing pictures of that's like actually transforms into the gun mode, and I always remember it because I keep looking at it, and it's called like Romulus or some shit.
Oh yeah, Romulus, the studio series.
Yeah.
Referencing like the fall of Rome like or the start of Rome.
They're naming it shit like that.
Well, there's a difference between like third-party figures and like knockoffs of existing toys, because knockoffs of existing toys will use like, you know, Google Translate and then fudge some numbers, whereas third parties get really clever with it, like as Jamie said in chat, the third party masterpiece Astra Train that they called Thomas. That's just funny as fuck. Cliff Jumper, that's Flyover Mountain. That's really good. They'll call them Swinger. Like if they had like Beast Wars Black Arachnia, it would be like Spider Slut.
Yeah.
Which, you know, we all can aspire to be a Spider Slut, in my opinion.
This is true.
But to get back on this, we're missing something about our quality standards. We need to lower them even further. Our design standards are not right. Currently, our toys work. That's not good. So instead of fighting that, why don't we just embrace it and go find those manufacturing partners and ship those products in other countries? If you can't beat them, join them. So now, product safety considerations means that Hasbro won't be able to sell toys quite as cheaply as their knockoffs. But this is from Chris Cox. 1.1 times their price is a hell of a lot better than 2 or 3 times. So they're trying to expand into these markets. These first products developed in this way are going to be seen in these markets in like later this year. But they could be seen in like Dollar Generals and Dollar Trees and stuff in the US at some point. We need to respect spider sluts on our society. True. AI is a great leveler. All of this boils down to, man, I think we could fire a lot of people and use AI instead. It's supercharging fandom, guys.
Worrying shit.
I think it's a net good for the brand. When brought up all of like the rights issues and attribution issues with AI, and the real ethical quandary we have with it, Cox responds, but I think that's solvable.
Supercharging fandom. Most fandoms hate this shit.
I'm an AI bull. Google, can we pull up AI bull? Google queso AI. Can we bring up an AI bull? That's Chris Cox. Again, AI is the ultimate tool to trick old people into giving you money because hypothetically it could do anything, but in reality it can do nothing useful. AI bull. Shit. True. AI bullcocks. Yeah, actually, let me Google that. AI bullcocks.
I don't think you should do that.
Oh. Well, would you look at that? So this is a RAM. I'm getting a lot of RAM-styled Valentine's Day cards. I don't know... I don't know why, but I'm getting a lot of stuff that's like... RAM-themed, and they're in hearts. Thank you, Google Images. That could... So, essentially, he's like, oh, imagine what it could do for, like, D&D campaigns. Like, you could ask it what to do, and then it can tell you. Because you know what like, really sells an improv bit? Asking ChatGPT in the middle of your improv bit. You know, the game of make-believe that you're playing with each other. You know what would really enhance that? Offloading the make-believe. Or offerings to let parents customize Peppa Pig animations. We're doing fucking Jib Jab again. We're doing Jib Jab, but it's AI. God fucking damn it. If you're wondering, no. The fucking Elon buyout was never ever going to happen because Elon Musk is
God. Yeah, they aren't that stupid. Don't worry.
He's equally quick to play down the recurring speculation of a possible Hasbro-Mattel merger, which would be kind of like the Takara Tomy of our times, but if it was evil.
Yeah, I don't see that happening either.
Well, neither do they. We have pretty fundamentally different outlooks on where strategically the industry of play should go. Mattel says, you should make a good product, and we fundamentally disagree.
Yeah, Mattel says we should make a good product and distribute it well. That's asking a lot of us, guys.
I come from the games industry, which has competition, but you don't think that someone else's victory is your loss. Now, I need you to tune in for the greatest line of all time. Real quote from Chris Cox. You need to commit this, engrave it in your skull. I'm a crass capitalist cheater in Monopoly, says Chris Cox. What do you say to this? What do you even say to this? How do you respond to this? I come from the games industry, which is currently crashing and burning in real time because of decisions that I personally made. It is literally insane. Because the way that... a lot of the shit that's happening right now, with especially the traditional games industry that's causing it to crash and burn, board games are a bit more safe. Board games are actually in an entire boom right now, and I'm pretty sure it's like a stable boom. It's not like what we saw with the TCG boom, which was just like investors trying to get in. The board game boom is legitimately born out of people like actually wanting to play board games with people, and board games becoming like a more common like thing. And by board games, I of course mean more complex tabletop games. Like, Wingspan is this generation's Catan. Because Catan opened up a lot of people to board games that are more than Monopoly. And then Catan became Monopoly to a lot of people, because that's essentially what it is. It's Monopoly for people who can think. So now, like, Wingspan is taking that piece of society of, like, this is the standard we have for all board games now, is Wingspan. If a game is as good as Wingspan, then it is, you know, a normal game to me. And, like, board game Kickstarters sell out in, like, minutes. And there's not really a whole collectability thing that can ruin board games, whereas the TCG thing is like essentially the same thing as a crypto scam of people trying to make TCGs that are highly sought after collector's items, like what MetaZoo was, what Akora was, what essentially 99% of them, while claiming to be big TCG gamers and like wanting to fix games from like, oh, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic have ruined trading card games, and then make a really, really bad game to play that just feels like it sucks to play once you make a deck with the cards that they released that at any optimal level. But yeah. Part of that was COVID and the Paul brothers, you know, inciting that shit. But a lot of it was Magic the Gathering following suit by creating, like, secret layers and Universes Beyond and, like, collectors, boosters, and products like that. That really made it a whole norm for the industry if the big granddaddy of them all does it and says, this is how we're doing things now. So it's really funny for him to say, I come from the games industry, when that is the industry that he ruined. Any thoughts from the other Daft siblings?
I mean, I pretty much seconded everything you just said, because like, I'm not like as knowledgeable of what's been going on in the TCG space because I've been just watching it from the distance. But yeah.
I think this guy's a little dumb, guys.
Yeah, I think he might be the dumbest piece of shit ever.
I'm just still thinking about I'm a crass capitalist cheater in Monopoly.
It's insane that he just admits that. Like, he's trying to seem relatable. It's like, I love cheating in Monopoly. The capitalist part is what gets me, because it's like it's assuming that, like, no, I hold socialist values outside of Monopoly. Like, I actually voted for Bernie in 2016. Like, that's what it gives off. Who do you think he voted for in 2016?
Oh, you know.
Hillary.
I'm going to say, I'm going to put a 50-50 split at Hillary and Bernie. He could have wrote in Bernie. No, Chris Cox didn't vote for Orange Man. He's too much of like a soy neo-lib kind of person to have voted for Orange Man.
Yeah, he's like a libertarian.
Yeah, like, he wore an I'm with her t-shirt. I'm making stuff up. I'm just painting a picture. He wore an I'm with her t-shirt out to the office one day. And like on election day, and he knocked on his neighbor's cubicle and he was like, "How do you think the pumpkin's gonna do?" And then and then possibly one of the worst 4 years in human history happened. So yeah. Now that's enough of him. So if other people are talking about these rumors, so can we. Hasbro is not going to survive.
To acknowledge this at first. I wasn't sure if I wanted to acknowledge this publicly at first, but it's already been floating around.
Yeah, we heard lots of chatter at Toy Fair.
Yeah. Like, it basically felt like we were playing a game of telephone with this information. Everything mentioned in this Instagram post is basically what we know.
I have similarly embarrassing pre-2016 election day conversation story, and I don't know if I can bring myself to say it because it's so painfully 2016. It's fine. You're in a safe space.
Yeah. So anyway, Hasbro wants to stop making toys.
Hasbro wants to stop making toys. Which is like if Mitsubishi wanted to stop making cars, if Apple wanted to stop making phones. Hasbro wants to stop making toys.
They want to, like, transition into being a licensing-focused company. Which, based off of what, like, we've seen and how many different companies are making toys of Hasbro properties right now, it does make sense. And, like, I've kind of gotten this vibe for, like, well over a year at this point.
So, it really feels like Chris Cox can't handle the bad bitch that is the toy industry. So, he's trying to, like, push this as a strategic option for Hasbro to take it into the future. Toys are dying. The toy sales have been more than they have been in the past, like, 20 years. It's just harder to sell physical toys now, and it's just not something we can do. It's not feasible.
We're doing absolutely nothing to incentivize anybody to go into the toy aisle, but, you know, it's dying.
We wouldn't do that. It is dying. Like, I just don't want to spend money on the sinking ship, guys. I mean, we could spend the money. I do know where to call the guy who can patch up the ship, but it's just like, how much money would the ship make us if it floated versus how much we did if we repair it? It would be pretty cheap. It would actually. We have been doing repairs on the ship for the past 50 years, for the past 40 years, but I don't know. I just think there's a point where we have to draw the line.
I mean, it is kind of incredible seeing how many Hasbro lines are, like, flourishing now. That Hasbro has, like, taken a hands-off approach on them. Because Beyblade, that's basically Takara Tomy doing all the hard work, and that's, like, selling like crazy. Littlest Pet Shop, that's Basic Fun doing everything. It's blowing up. It's doing really well for them.
My friend, she just got back into collecting Littlest Pet Shop, and it's, yeah. It's just... Here's the thing. Honestly, this is going to be a net gain for for the toy industry, because we're going to get good Nerf guns, and we're going to get good Transformers, and we're going to get good My Little Pony products, and we're going to get good, essentially all of the things that Hasbro has been bastardizing. It's
We're
just
getting really good gem dolls. The Loyal Subject released their first gem doll recently, and I got to see some of the upcoming ones at Toy Fair. Really nice looking dolls, and I never thought we'd see like Playline. Even if it is kind of more like a collector release, you could buy it in the Walmart doll aisle.
a mask.
Yeah, they got Mask also. Things I have never even heard of. Yeah, Rainbow Bright is cute. That wasn't Hasbro though.
Oh.
Popples, I'm not sure if that's Hasbro currently, because the last people to hold the rights to Popples was Saban, so that could have been something Hasbro got the rights to.
When Miss
that
X
later went to the Loyal Subjects.
Oh, is Takara Tomy Sniper going to keep Transformers and Beyblade in house? Or like Transformers and Beyblade?
That's the one thing, yeah.
Transformers and Beyblade has always secretly been a Takara Tomy only property, where they occasionally borrowed designers from Hasbro who knew what was going up, or who knew what was up. Like Transformers would be a dead property without Takara Tomy. And you could say that it would be a dead property without Hasbro's input too. That's like partially true. I think it could have been a more massively successful property if they listened to Takara Tomy more, but you know, whatever. Not that like, oh, we could have increased the success of Transformers. You know, Transformers, the thing that all transforming toy cars get compared to. But yeah, anyways, we are going to read out this chat message that you left. So I was in high school with my white guy friends, and we were talking about, oh wow, it's the season finale of America. And I was like, yeah, I can't wait for the all-female reboot, because it was 2016, and Woman Ghostbusters just happened, and I made my white guy friends mad. I was convinced for like a year that my remark jinxed the entire election before becoming more politically aware and being like, oh wait, Clinton was just a centrist and sucked. That is the solution to why every Democratic candidate has failed in the past 20 years. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a really good bit. I can't wait for the all-female reboot. I forgot about the Ghostbusters 2016 debacle. Because, you know, partially it was that the 2016 Ghostbusters movie did look like it sucked. Like, the trailer was not good. Unfortunately, this was able to catalyze and fuse and amalgamate with the really strong wave of online misogyny, and was not good. Yeah. Like, so it's mostly inoffensive unless you're an incel. This is true. Like, it's just a movie. It was just a movie with a bad trailer, which, as we've learned throughout human history, is the number one cause for, I don't know, a level of outrage and activism that could be put towards fixing our government, but is instead put towards a completely fine-looking Shrek, or a Minecraft movie that looks like it's going to be okay and that kids will like. Yeah.
I'm not on the Minecraft movie hate train. I think it's gonna be silly and fun.
Oh, I think it's going to be great.
Let's see the Minecraft movie. I might do it.
I'll be very brave and say I'll never understand the fanatical love people have for Ghostbusters. I like the movie Ghostbusters. I think it's a silly little 80s movie. Don't know why you tried to make it such a franchise, though. Like, I feel like Ghostbusters...
When we were out walking the streets of New York with Jet Kuso, we walked past the library and there was like a bunch of Ghostbusters cosplayers just hanging out, having like a photo shoot there, and they're speaking in French, and we're like, oh, Lego Buster!
Lego Buster! Man, maybe they were actually really big Super Sentai fans.
Walking around New York City with Jet Kuso still kind of feels like a fever dream to me.
You know what's the fact we saw the fucking Ghostbusters like adds to it.
Lego Bustera!
I was thinking yesterday, I was like, man, it's been a week.
Yeah.
Since I walked around New York City with Jet Kuso. What a fucking...
What a nice young man.
What was the most surreal for me was the nighttime stroll with Jet Kuso that we got to witness live.
Oh my gosh.
I cannot stress enough how he pretended to be dead for like 3 minutes, but we all could see through the bit, and he was just trying not to laugh the entire time while his phone charged. It was a really fucking good bit. I'm shocked that he like actually survived. I'm going to be so real. I thought that was going to be the last time we ever talked to Jet Kuso. Just wandering the streets of New York aimlessly. Hasbro is just fucking dead. Hasbro.
Yeah.
Good riddance. We are going to get good toys now. Hopefully, you know, I think if they hand over Transformers to Mattel and to Takara if they could have like this weird cuckolding relationship where Takara Tomy works with Mattel.
I feel like it's still like stuff like Transformers and Beyblade are still gonna be through Hasbro, but just like purely for distribution.
Now I just wonder how they're going to do that, because was T licensing made with this in mind?
Probably. I mean, T licensing was made mostly just to facilitate Beyblade, but I'm sure this was one of the many reasons they pursued this. They knew they were going to have to do this someday.
Like, T licensing, what does T licensing do?
They bring over Beyblade.
Yeah,
That's
but
it.
How? How do they do that?
They work alongside 80K Emotions. They haven't been that public on what exactly T licensing does.
Because it could be the shadow puppet
said,
for Hasbro.
This is like, all they said. Like, this is a direct branch of Takara Tomy.
Yeah, this feels like a way for them to shadow puppet Hasbro. If Mattel gets in bed with Takara Tomy, and I start dreaming of toxic things, Fisher-Price disowning the Trackmaster Revolution infrastructure and bringing back Pla Rail Thomas to the West, I really pray for you and your trains.
I mean, T
really
licensing office is like the 80K Emotions office in New York. T licensing theoretically in New York. I could go there.
Yeah?
I could ask them. I was really hoping they'd have like some kind of booth at Toy Fair again, because they did like at 2023 they had their own separate booth, but I guess now that wasn't really as necessary.
Yeah. So, speaking of other companies letting go of their cash cows, Niantic has sold Pokémon Go along with its entire games business for $3.5 billion.
This is insane.
It was acquired by Scopely, the makers of Monopoly Go. So, if you don't know, Pokemon is the highest grossing media franchise of all time. It is the number one. Nothing has ever beat it. For a while, over most of its profits, like ever, lifetime profits, came from the introduction of Pokemon Go. And how ubiquitous it was in the world in the world of 2015. If you weren't around in 2015, I'm going to take you back.
It was 2016, wasn't it?
Or 2016, sorry. Around that time where like people were saying slurs and shit.
Yeah.
So wasn't it? Yeah, I guess 2016.
Yeah, it was summer 2016 cuz yeah.
Okay. Because Pokemon go to the polls. Yep.
Yes.
Real Hillary Rodham Clinton type stream tonight.
Yeah.
But it was a cultural zeitgeist, which I don't think we have matched the fervor of since the introduction of, like, TikTok. Like,
Even then,
like, the Pokemon Go was essentially the Pokemania of our times. What we saw happen in the 90s happened again in the teens. And it made Pokemon more money than God. And Niantic was the company that did this. If you're not familiar with Niantic, they are a mobile games company specializing in, like, GPS service games. Like, games that involve you going to real world, like, locations scraped from Google Maps and like, capturing them somehow. Their first big game that everyone knows was Ingress, right? Where you had to play as either two teams and you tried to capture locations in such a way that you would create, like, area. Like, triangulate area between these locations, and which out of the two teams had more would be winning in the game. And it was a pretty popular game. Pretty innovative for the space. Pokemon then did an April Fool's Day joke with Google Maps where you could, like, go out on Google Maps and capture Pokemon, and, you know, they got in bed with Niantic and they made it into a real game, which was incredibly successful. In the time between now and then, like, almost 10 years, a lot of stuff has happened. Maybe a lot of stuff that, might have been detrimental to Pokemon Go. Yeah, like a pandemic that stopped people from going outside. You would think this, but actually the pandemic did increase players of Pokemon Go because it was something to do. And they had specific stopgaps made to make playing Pokemon Go in the pandemic easier. And then, like, just playing Pokemon Go as, like, a disabled person or a person with limited movement.
That and a lot of people were just, like, going for walks in the city because that was, like, the only thing you could do was just, like, go outside and walk around.
Mm-hmm. Like, walk out in a ghost town.
Yeah.
Niantic is, like, not a good company by any means because Pokemon Go was released in an unfinished state.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Thank you. And, like, they didn't have battling in the game initially, right?
No. They did not.
So, like,
they didn't even have trading. Or...
It was literally going out and catching Pokemon. This was enough to entice people in the year of our Lord 2016.
We should watch the original launch trailer for Pokemon Go real quick.
Yeah, if you link that in stream chat, I'll pull it up.
Let's see.
That's stream chat, of course, in our Discord, not stream chat in the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got bored of Pokemon Go, and I stopped playing it after the summer of 2016, but most people I know did not leave.
Yeah, Pokemon Go just became part of people's schedules. But, like, player bases did fall over time because there was not anything enticing to do. They had live events like Pokemon Go Fest where you had to, like, buy tickets to, but you couldn't refund the tickets if you couldn't go, and it was, like, at a physical location. It was a whole ordeal. Just a lot of questionable business decisions over time. And all of Niantic's other ventures did not work. And as Pokemon Go started to dry up and they soon had more on their plate than they could handle, we got here. The point where Niantic is like doing this. Because NBA Go wasn't going to work, I guess.
What games has Niantic made? Let's look up their roster.
If you pull up the Wikipedia too, I'll pull that up on stream after we watch the trailer. Okay, let's watch that launch trailer and count how many features were actually in Pokemon Go at launch. Pokemon in real life. All right, distance to...
the 2016 Android phones, baby.
Okay, so did they have compatibility with the little widget?
Yes.
That was released close enough to launch that I'll count it. So we got one.
I didn't even have a phone. I didn't even have a phone at this point. I was playing off of a fucking tablet.
3, 4. Okay, so we got catching. We got item menu. We got Pokemon locating, and we got the little widget. Trading is not in the game. Trading is not something you can do. Battling is not something you can do. That was not in the game. You just claimed gyms. You can't do whatever the hell this is. This is a big one, no. This was not in the game. There's no raids at the beginning. You cannot battle like this. That's 6. Man, this is what we thought we were going to do to Donald Trump in 2016. This is really what we thought was going to happen.
It's because they didn't have this feature at launch.
Yeah. Damn. They did it. Niantic did it. Okay. Out of the 10 features I'll generously give this trailer, 4 of them were in the game at launch. Now, I want to clarify that 2 of those features were finding Pokemon and having an item menu.
And the Pokemon finding was broken at launch for like months and months and months, to the point where they completely disabled it, like for months. Like, you could see like the little thing that you see in the bottom, like right of your screen, that's like Pokemon nearby, was completely broken for months.
Okay, so they had 2 features at launch: the Pokemon brand and an item menu.
And this shit fucking sold millions and billions, baby.
Billions of dollars, legitimately dwarfed the rest of the Pokemon franchise in sales. And I'm not talking about the rest of Pokemon franchise in contemporary terms to it. The rest of the Pokemon franchise ever. Pokemon would probably still not be like as culturally relevant as it is today if Pokemon Go did not come out and revitalize Pokemon as a brand. Like, this put Pokemon, like, back into everyone's minds ever since, like, that dip that they felt during Diamond and Pearl that started with Ruby Sapphire, really hitting Diamond and Pearl. Slight dip back up with Black and White. Pokemon Go is where like Pokemon became.
I mean,
everyone knows Pokemon again.
This is pre-Switch era, so
pre-Switch era.
Yeah.
Like,
Timmy wasn't playing Pokemon on his 3DS because he didn't have a 3DS.
Yeah. Like, the Wii U was out. No one had a Wii U. More people had Nintendo 3DS because it was, like, just a fun console to have. But, like, it was people who were pretty deep into, like, playing video games kind of people.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a Nintendo Switch where you can expect, like, Craig from your frat to have a Nintendo Switch lying around. It's not like you can sneeze and find a Nintendo Switch like you can nowadays.
There's 7 in your kitchen drawer.
There are. I've checked my junk drawers and I'm just like, God fucking damn it, another Joy-Con. So, like... yeah. And now the company that made that massively successful game that made Pokemon culturally relevant again is dead, and they sold it off to the guys who make the Monopoly app. So
they sold their entire like game
making was the one other thing keeping Hasbro afloat besides Beyblade. So
what was keeping Hasbro afloat beside Beyblade?
Monopoly Go.
Yeah. Monopoly Go is massively successful in the same way that Candy Crush was massively successful. Amongst old people.
Let's see. Okay, here's the Wikipedia article for Niantic. You can scroll down to their fucking current project section.
We have a filmography, we have discography, we need like a gameography. This article's lead section may be too short to adequately summarize the key points. Ain't that the truth?
But yeah, there's a nice little when you get to their like active games, there's a nice little blurb that has like all their games and like a fucking picture. I don't know. Words.
Current projects. Field Trip.
Yeah.
Ingress in 2013.
Yeah.
Pokemon Go. Ingress Prime did not go off. Harry Potter Wizard Unite immediately kind of crashed and burned. Pikmin Bloom. Our friend Ami plays it. Campfire. I've never heard of that one before. And NBA All-World Peridot and Monster Hunter Now. I don't know if any of these games exist anymore. In 2018, Niantic released a revamped version of the game branded as Ingress Prime. Prime is completely rewritten within Unity, and the company used critical learnings gained from Pokemon Go and Ingress for its development. Niantic also retained the older Ingress game as a separate download named Scanner Redacted. The intention of the older Ingress game was to help aid players with the transition to Prime as the future parity was reached between both games in 2019. In collaboration with Craftar Studio, Ingress the Animation, a television series based on the popular augmented reality game, was produced. I forgot about the Ingress anime. One season of 11 episodes? Wow.
Seems like they forgot about it too.
Stop biting things. You're going to bite something that's going to hurt you one day. Pikmin Bloom was just a game that existed. Peridot was set to be launched after 2022. Peridot became open beta. It was released. Okay, Monster Hunter now has its own article.
I guess we're not getting Bakugan Go, guys.
Damn it. Remember when Yokai Watch World, was it? That was its Pokemon Go? Campfire.
I'm not sure.
It's a campfire, turn the lights out. Intended to function as a companion app to its game, in lieu of social features within the games themselves. Okay, so it was Miiverse.
Minecraft also had their own augmented reality game that also died fairly quickly.
Oh, Minecraft Earth died hard and fast. I had the beta. I never got to download the actual game. It died that fast. Lawsuits. In 2023, 2 former female employees Niantic laid off sued the company for denying equal pay to female employees and to women of color. Cool.
Ooh.
Wolfpack, a human resources for women, found in the survey that many female employees viewed Niantic as sexist and referred to them as a boys' club. Frat indicted for Niantic-like behavior, etc., etc. Alright, we're not going to play a game tonight. I'm getting eepy, and I have to get up earlier. So I think that's where we're going to end things today, with the death of Pokemon Go. Well, not the death of Pokemon Go, but the death of the guys who really defined what Pokemon Go was. Hasbro's gone, Pokemon Go is gone. Go back in time and tell someone about this in like 2016. Tell them this in 2017, see what happens.
They're probably like, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, probably.